So Chris Christie went on MSNBC and talked to the Morning Joe folks, and they were talking about Trump and how recently in a bunch of rallies he's sort of been cognitively declining. He forgot what place he was in, and there's moments where he short circuits in the middle of a sentence and he totally changes the topic in a very weird, bizarre way. And so anyway, they're going to talk about that, but then they get into Trump's legal troubles and where we're at right now. And that part is interesting. So let's watch and we'll break it down.
What do you think? You've known Donald a long time like us. Do you think when he gets up there and he freaks out, he can't remember Joe Biden's name? I mean, because you see him struggling.
Yeah.
And by the way, Biden does it too.
Yep.
So Biden does it too. So people, whenever you say this, go, well, Biden does it. Well, yeah, okay, he does. They're both old men, and they're both doing it. But he keeps saying he's running against Barack Obama, and you see him struggling up there, trying to remember what decade he's in. And he just, what do you think it's the pressure of,
just no
of 91 counts?
Well,
what do you think it is?
Yeah, I think it's the stress of what he knows is coming in his criminal problems. And I think this week, because a lot of that stuff was from the last week.
Yeah.
That's all post Mark Meadows. And I think everybody that's watching needs to understand, from somebody who did this work for 7 years, you don't give Mark Meadows immunity unless the evidence he has is unimpeachable.
Oh, yeah.
And I said this yesterday. I want Republican voters to understand this. What's going to be happening in March? He's going to be sitting in a courtroom in Washington, D.C., with Mark Meadows 20 feet away from him, saying he committed crimes in front of me on my watch. Not some rogue prosecutor,
I want to stop you
Joe.
a second.
He's a former prosecutor.
He's a former prosecutor. I want to stop you right there, and I want to underline what I've said, because we have a lot of Democrats watching this show, but as I'm sure you know, we have a lot of Republicans that are watching this show. And I just want to say to my Republican friends that are watching, everybody that's testifying against Donald Trump, they're not editorial writers for the New York Times or primetime hosts at MSNBC. They are all Trumpers who stayed with Trump to the very end.
Yeah. Look, this is a guy who was Velcroed to Trump's hip for the entire 2020 campaign and all the post-campaign nonsense. And so this is deadly. It's done. He's going to be convicted.
But
it's over.
Remember, Chris Christie is a prosecutor. He was a prosecutor. And so he actually does have insight into this that laymen don't. So he thinks it's already a wrap. The number of people who've already flipped on him in the various cases, he thinks it's already a wrap. Damn. So look, then the question is, well, when he appeals the cases, like, what's going to be the process when he appeals? Like, how's it going to go? And by the way, is he going to be put in jail because he keeps violating this gag order over and over and over? He's really testing the limit. He's already been fined thousands of dollars for violating the gag order. Are they going to revoke his pretrial release? I don't know. But according to Christie, he thinks, no, it's done. He's going to be convicted on felonies and can face jail time. Damn. From his lips to God's ears. All right, so let's hear. I wonder if they bring up any of the, well, what's going to happen with the appeals? Let's see.
He run for president and put delay and get out of it?
Well, I don't think he can delay it. No, I don't have the impression that this district court judge in Washington is amenable to delay.
Yeah, but if he appeals, that takes time. And so wouldn't he not be behind bars?
March 4th.
She seems pretty. So
it's a March 4th trial right now. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Maybe give or take a month. You think the judge may?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it starts in April. Maybe not though. I mean, look, she has not given much at this point into the defense claims for delay.
Look, again, the big thing to me is, I do think on the merits of the case, or I should say cases, the various cases, I do think he's screwed. But then the biggest thing becomes the timing, and it's like, well, if you have the election before this stuff, well, then it's like, forget it. Because even if he's found guilty when he's president, he has immunity, right? And right now, Trump is probably the favorite to be president again. He's leading the Republican primary by a million miles. Biden, I think, was the favorite. Even when many others were saying, no, he's not the favorite, he can't win. I still thought he was the favorite until this recent bombing campaign in Gaza, where he dropped 11 points among Democrats. He's hemorrhaging young voters, and he's hemorrhaging Arab American voters who are very crucial in certain key swing states. So now I think Trump is probably the favorite. So now there's even more pressure on what's happening here to come to a conclusion and do it before the election, or certainly before. So here's another question. What happens if, so let's say Trump wins the election, but he doesn't take office until January. So what happens if the sentencing is in like the December timeframe, right? Like, I don't know, man. We're really in uncharted territory here, and the suspense is killing me. Honestly, it's stranger than fiction. The real life, real world politics is stranger than fiction right now. And I just hope Christie's correct here, that he feels like it's over, it's done. Okay, well then hurry up and get his ass behind bars, because basically the only thing that would make Republican voters abandon him is that, according to themselves, when you look at the polling, that's the only thing that would make Republican voters abandon him, where he cannot win a general, is if he's behind bars. So, look, and just to be clear, on the actual substance of it, putting the timing aside and all that stuff, and the politics of it aside, on the substance of it, I think he's guilty in virtually every case, whether it be the classified documents, obstruction of justice, DC case on election crimes, Georgia case on election crimes, the fraud one we already know he's guilty in New York. I think he's guilty on virtually all of them, but like timing, man, timing. Speed it up a little bit. That's all I can say. All right, guys, that's the show. Love y'all very much, as always. Thank you for listening to me babble. You know the drill, everybody. You know the drill. Please click that subscribe button. It helps us massively in the algorithm. It doesn't cost you anything. It means the world to me. We'd like to keep growing the community. Deeply, deeply appreciate it. You could also click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. That helps the channel out massively as well. And remember, I've never had a conversation with an advertiser. I'm very proud of that fact. So if you'd like to support this show, like to support the work done here, Patreon link is below. You can give $2 a month or $5 a month. You could also, by the way, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends. You can do it for free, and you get the podcast version of the show a day later on Saturdays, or you could pay $5 a month to get the video of every interview and get it a day early. Whatever works for you guys. I love all you dearly, man. These are some dark days, but, we'll do our best to cover everything as accurately as possible and, try to keep our heads on straight. But I'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.